Ekelebe, you know my mind dey far. Me, I no be your neighbor. Check your level and stay far. Don't do like donkey wey just come. I woke up to a formal invitation from one dancehall artist to another asking for something very important. Now, let's take this letter from Shatta Wale. I am issuing a formal challenge to Stonebwoy and his fans to meet me at Accra Sports Stadium to resolve the Dancehall King title dispute. If he and his fans decline this invitation, he should refrain from identifying as a dancehall artist, as I consider him as a reggae artist. I assure the nation's leaders that this will be a structured and healthy competition. Interested sponsors can contact our management teams. So this is the letter from Shatta Wale to Stonebwoy. But do you remember this video by Stonebwoy when he went to Assassin Radio for an interview? Watch this interview.
If you had to choose someone to clash with, local, international, who would it be?
I ain't clashing no more.
Oh, why?
No, there's no why. And the thing is, if anybody has to clash with me, with all due respect, I think, on a clash terms, you have to be on my levels.
And you don't think anybody's of your level now?
I just said you have to. I'm not saying anybody is not.
Said.
Now let's get into the invitation by Shatta Wale to Stonebwoy. It says that resolve the Dancehall King title dispute. Now, as I sit here, I know who the Dancehall King is. I don't know if you don't know who the Dancehall King is, because where I sit, I know per the records of music in recent times, and now as we sit here, I know who the Dancehall King is. So to me, it feels like the Shatta Wale and his fans that are still in denial, or that still need that thing to confirm something. Because as I sit here, maybe he's a Dancehall King. I don't think that he needs to do that to prove anything to anybody. Or maybe I think that it's Stonebwoy who is and doesn't need to do that to prove it to anybody. But as I sit here, I know who the Dancehall King. And I think that if Shatta Wale doesn't know who the Dancehall King is, then he and his fans are just in denial. Let's move on to another part of the letter. He should refrain from identifying as a dancehall artist, as I consider him as a reggae artist. Now listen, this one is very funny because I think Stonebwoy has even moved on past this dancehall King thing. He calls himself the Afro Dancehall Pele. And just in case we are still hanging on the terminologies of dancehall artist, dancehall king, I think you should go and check the just ended TGM who won the award, and then we'll see probably who is the king or who is the title holder, or who is even borrowing the name from the other person, from the actual king, who is borrowing the name from the actual king. Let's move on to another part of the letter. I assure nations leaders that this will be a structured and a healthy competition. Now, here is where my thing is. In as much as I agree that Shatta Wale and his team, in his mind or in their mind, they want to do this and they want to do it in a very well structured and a healthy thing, I don't think that this thing is going to be healthy, at least not for Brand Stonebwoy. Because in as much as Shatta Wale wants to make himself and his fans believe that the way he has been taunting Stonebwoy and the kind of things he has been saying to him in recent times on platform like the Nima Fest and is it Abeka show and other platforms, the way he has been taunting him, the kind of things he has been saying to him, laughing at his leg and things, in as much as he wants to convince himself that he is doing all of that on a lighter note, you don't know how the other person feels about it. You don't know how he has received all these things. Are you sure that he sees it as a healthy thing, or you are just setting him up once again, trying to push his buttons for him to display, and then we'll say, hey, Stonebwoy is the bad person on a national platform where everybody is watching? I don't think this is a healthy competition. Considering how much Shatta Wale has been taunting Brand Stonebwoy, I don't think it is healthy, at least not for Stonebwoy. Until if you have tensioned somebody for a long time, and then this one, because you want a challenge until you are saying it's a healthy one. So when Stonebwoy comes to say, no, I don't want to do it, then you have you've put the trigger, like you've set him up. Whichever way Stonebwoy come out of this conversation, he will look like the bad person. For one, rejecting the challenge. For two, if he accept the challenge and something happens, because you have taunted the guy and you know this guy has a temper issue where he gets upset and he does certain things. But you have taunted him and if intentionally said, oh, this thing is healthy, it might not be healthy for him because he's upset. You've done certain things that you've triggered him, and you have come and you are saying it is healthy. To you, it is healthy, or you are actually hiding behind the word healthy, knowing that you have done enough things to provoke him where he might react, and people will say his reaction was not proportionate to the action. But you have triggered him. And let's not act as if we don't know that you have done things to trigger the brand Stonebwoy. And then now you are saying that it is healthy. You might think it is healthy, but we all know that in previous time, nothing you have done to Stonebwoy has been healthy. It hasn't. Unless you want to deny and act like that is not it. Now let's move on to this part of the letter that says that interested sponsors can contact our management. Now I like this part because it's almost like the Assassin Sound Clash where they all go home with something in their pockets. But as I said in previous time, this thing is there's too much tension in this thing that to me, I don't want anybody to hide behind the fact that, oh, it will benefit the two of us, so let's do it. As I sit here now, I really don't see how this thing is going to benefit Stonebwoy, because Stonebwoy has moved past this dispute. He has left it all behind. He's clearly on a path to set his career on another level. And I really don't see how this is going to benefit him, or which amount of money they will give Stonebwoy power for him to still come and defend a title he has grown past. Honestly though, I really don't see it. Which amount of money that any brand will give to Stonebwoy to come and defend a title he has outgrown. I really don't see that. Now, here is something Shatta Wale added to his post this morning that I saw. I want to read this post by Shatta Wale. Those skilled in English claiming to know how to generate income should seek employment. Do not pretend to be unaware of the resentment when Shatta Wale's name is mentioned on international platforms, prompting your favorite artist to create impressions. I was featured on Beyonce's song, whereas he was featured on Kerry Hilson's song. My name appeared on a Grammy article while he was featured on Portfolio's Fufu channel. Portfolio chops triplets. Enough is enough. If you do not see what I see, I am prepared and I will be a Minamino ninth. Those familiar with Minamino will attest that God is here. Now, I have a response to this, but I saw a certain response from Tony Asankoma, and for once I felt like, oh, okay, I'm not the one that feels this way. So let me read Tony Asankoma's response in response to this one that Shatta Wale has said. He said, this from Tony Asankoma, and he says, Shatta is king already. We get it. I get that Beyonce feature was a big achievement for Shatta, but I don't want to believe that it should be the highest achievement of his career. That album, The Lion King, The Gift, was in 2019 and it featured Wizkid, Burna Boy, Mr. Easy, Tiwa Savage, and another artist, Salatiel. Too. I don't see them always talking about it. They don't even make it seem like this was one of the highlights of their careers, let alone the biggest. They have moved on to achieve bigger things after appearing on that album. Burna, for instance, has gone to win a Grammy of his own. Wiz has sold out bigger arenas and even gone on to walk on runway for Dolce & Gabbana. I don't think I have personally seen or heard both Wiz or Burna talk about their features on that album in any social media post or platform. Even Beyonce herself has moved past that album. Renaissance and Cowboy Carter have chalked critical success arguably bigger than The Gifts. But for our biggest artist, every time he has to remind us how big he is, he has to reference this feature. I really wish he would move on from it and achieve something bigger. I don't want to accept that already is the highlight of his illustrious career. Shatta is king already, we get it. But history would prove that kings fought for and conquered more territory and would never be satisfied, or were never satisfied. Now this thing ties into the final bit of what I have to say.
If you had to choose someone to clash with, local, international, who would it be?
I ain't clashing no more.
Oh, why?
No, there's no why. And the thing is, if anybody has to clash with me, with all due respect, I think, on a clash terms, you have to be on my levels.
And you don't think anybody's of your level now?
I just said you have to. I'm not saying anybody is not.
Said.
I agree very largely with the post that, or with the comment that Stonebwoy said some time ago on Assassin Radio, that if you want to clash with me or if you want to challenge me, you have to be on my level. Now, believe whatever you want to believe, but if at this point, a feature, we are in 2024, a feature from somebody claiming to be a dancehall king in 2019 is the highest of his career, or is what he stands on to claim he's the king and is the highest of his career, then it means that in recent time, when I'm talking about recent time, I mean 2024, now that brand that claims his highest was in 2019, it's not on the level on the artist that he's calling for in 2024. It's as simple as ABC. And for this reason, it will really pain me if Stonebwoy and his team agrees to this challenge, because I don't know what he's trying to prove. Well, we know that in 2024, Stonebwoy has passed that level, but Shatta Wale is still on the high of 2019 and claiming a certain title of 2019. Pay his post now. So please, I beg you, per this thing that has come out, do you think that Stonebwoy should challenge this or take this challenge and defend a title to me he has outgrown in 2019? Because if you remember the Assassin Sound Clash very well, when King already was dropped, the song that Stonebwoy used to counter this thing was Tambasama Putu. That was the height of that song. And if we are still on that tangent and you want to call somebody that has moved on to do big things in 2024 to challenge a title he has outgrown, then I don't know where we are moving on to. So this has been Tea with the Talkative. Do sub to the channel, press the bell icon, and if there's anything you have to do it now. Haslo ja.